Hey guys, today I wanted to go over the fertility treatments and medications that I was on to help me for this pregnancy to help the baby stick after 3 recurrent miscarriages. So whenever I was trying to conceive for the 4th time, I was looking at so many women's videos on like what they did and how they handled the situation. And so I thought this video would be helpful for anyone else that has gone through a miscarriage or multiple miscarriages, because there really is a lot that we can do to try to help sustain our pregnancies. Because without this medicine, I don't think my pregnancy would have stuck. And it's so crazy that that's true for so many women. So after my 3rd miscarriage, I called a fertility clinic and I told them what happened and that I wanted to come in and get tested. And so my husband and I went and we talked to them about the steps that they wanted to take. And when you go to a fertility clinic, they're gonna say a million things that you have to do, and you don't have to do all of them. I say start small and move forward. So for us, we started with some blood panels that I felt comfortable with, like your basic ones to find out if anything is wrong with you, or like a reason, like a huge red flag as to why I was miscarrying. And they didn't even bother with my husband yet. So all of those tests came back normal, which was great, but also frustrating because I was like, why is my stuff coming back normal? Something's wrong. I just wanted an answer. And so I talked to the fertility specialist, and she was saying she wanted me to do more testing. And I was like, what if I get pregnant again? And like, what would you do if I don't do any more testing right now? Because for me, I just wanted them to see what was going on when I got pregnant. So they were like, we would do supportive care. So the day you find out you're pregnant, we'll have you come in the next day and we'll take your blood and check your progesterone, and we'll do an ultrasound. So the day I found out I was pregnant, 9 DPO, because I wanted to know the second I was pregnant, because all of my miscarriages have happened really early, and this is like 6 days before my missed period. And so I called them and I was like, I'm pregnant, can I come in? And they were like, yes, come in tomorrow. So I came in and they did the blood work, and my progesterone was 18. And they were just like, well, we're gonna have you, that day, they were like, we're gonna have you start baby aspirin and progesterone or prometrium, and with 3 times a day, 200 milligrams vaginally, and you're gonna start a blood thinning shot, which is Lovenox. Now, I was not tested for the blood clotting gene, but since they didn't know if I had it or not, they were like, we're just gonna put you on the baby aspirin and the Lovenox just to be safe. And I'm so grateful, because I came in 2 days later, they checked my progesterone, and with the help of, oh wait, no, so the first day, yeah, no, that is right. All that is correct, sorry. Just, I have to make sure I'm thinking of it right. So 2 days later, I came in and got my blood work done, and my progesterone was rising, which normally at this point, it never really rose. It tripled. And so then I had to come in again 2 days later, and it tripled, and everything was like finally like going up, and it's never done that. Anytime I've got my progesterone checked, it's been so low, like 18, and then it just starts dipping, and that's when I would miscarry. So I was so excited to see it going up. And for 3 months, like until you're 12 weeks, if you're working with a fertility clinic with supportive care, you have to come in every other day and get your blood taken and an ultrasound. So about a week later, they took my blood, and they were like kind of not alarmed, but they were like, things aren't progressing anymore. Your progesterone isn't where we want it to be, so we're going to put you on endometrin as well as prometrium. So they stopped the vaginal prometrium 3 times a day. I took that orally, and then I started endometrin 3 times a day, vaginally. And let me tell you, I hated that medicine. It just, number one, it's so expensive. Like, even with insurance, it was like $1,000 a month. But I think it's what saved my pregnancy, because with the 2 different kinds of progesterone, the second I took the endometrin and I went 2 days later, my progesterone skyrocketed, and they were like, this is awesome, this is what we want. And it just kept skyrocketing. It was like tripling, quadrupling. It was just like so amazing. So I learned to love the medicine, because I was like, it's keeping me pregnant. And then one day, like 3 days later though, they were like, oh no, now your estrogen levels are dropping. It's like my body did not want to hold on to this baby. And I was just crying every day, like, why is this happening to me? What is going on? So then they put me on estrogen 3 times a day, which is just like a really tiny tablet. You stick it under your tongue. And then 2 days later, that like skyrocketed too. So at this point, I was on the baby aspirin every day, 40 milligrams of Lovenox, the prometrium 3 times a day orally, the endometrin 3 times vaginally, and the estrogen 3 times orally. And at my ultrasounds, everything was just looking perfect, and everything was finally progressing, and it was just amazing. And it's like, it's just crazy to me though, if I wasn't getting checked from the day I found out I was pregnant, I probably would have miscarried again. They say it's like unknown causes, but obviously, like, for me, it's that my body isn't, it just wasn't producing the right hormones. So I was so thankful to be getting my blood drawn and having it taken every other day, which seems like so much, but so much can happen in 2 days. Because for me, it was like, one day they were like, oh, everything's great. And then one day it was like, things are dipping. We're concerned, like, we're going to put you on this other medicine. And I'm just so grateful. And then at 12 weeks, I stopped seeing them, and I started seeing my OB, and she slowly weaned me off of the endometrin. I think I stopped that at 12 weeks because they said that the baby could, she was producing her own progesterone. It freaked me out. I was still on the prometrium though, so I felt a little bit better. And they took me off the estrogen. So then I was just on the baby aspirin and the Lovenox and the prometrium. And my OB actually really wanted me off the prometrium completely. But guys, just talk to your OB, because there's no reason to get off of it. I talked to her and she was like, you can just stay on it if you want to, but I don't think you need to be on it. But then she said, if you miscarry again before 20 weeks, then the next time you're pregnant, we'll keep you on it the whole time. And I'm like, why even wait to find out if I'm going to miscarry again? Like, if there's no harm in me being on it, I just want to be on it. So I stayed on the prometrium, and I'm still taking it. They've weaned me down to 1 pill a day because I'm 34 weeks. And, but I'm like, I don't want to risk it. I just want to take whatever I have to take. But my advice for y'all, if you've had recurrent miscarriages, is go in, set up an appointment with a fertility clinic, go in, ask them if they can do supportive care for you like they did for me, and get monitored. Get your blood checked every other day. Just do it, because I really swear it's what saved my pregnancy, because the numbers were not looking good. Like, when you find out you're pregnant and your progesterone is 18, that's so low. It's not even considered a pregnancy until it's 25. So I was just so grateful that they started me on everything right away. And like I said, so much can change in just a couple of days. So it's so worth just getting on everything, getting your blood checked, making sure everything's good. Because had I miscarried again, they would have told me that it was the egg quality or something. That's what they say about all of the miscarriages. If there's no explanation, they always think, oh, it was a chromosomal issue. But I know now, like, this wasn't a chromosomal issue because she's fine. Like, she's had her anatomy scan, she's had everything done, and she's perfect. And I really think it was my hormones just were not kicking in. And so I just wanted to tell y'all, in case y'all are going through something where there's no explanation and your OBs are telling you, like, oh, it's just very common or whatever. Like, no, go get checked out. Find out if medicines will help you. Some doctors don't believe in prometrium and progesterone and all this, and I don't understand why, because it skyrocketed mine, and it's what supports your pregnancy and will keep the baby inside of you growing and getting nutrition and all of that. So that is my advice. Please comment below if you have any questions. Like, I wanted so much help whenever I found out I was pregnant and kept having miscarriages. I kept reaching out to people online and just being like, what did you do? And the only thing I'd ever heard of was take progesterone, but going to a fertility clinic and really getting the full supportive care and the blood work, I think is so worth it. So anyways, I hope that sharing this story will help y'all finally be able to have your successful pregnancy. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Okay, anyway, sorry I'm like winded. I hope y'all have a great day, and I just wish the best for all of you. Bye.